In big movies, rain scenes are some of the coolest shots you will see, and also some of the most expensive, costing several hundreds and even thousands of dollars a day to achieve. But what if I told you we did it for a music video and we only spent about 80 bucks to do it? You can create a really cool rain scene for any of your videos for only 100 bucks. But as cheap as it is, if you don't know some key things, you will end up wasting money and not getting the results you ultimately want. So in this video, I'm not only going to tell you how to create your own DIY rain machine for a Benji, I'm also going to give you the cinematic secrets behind making it look as realistic as possible. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. Alright, just so you're up to speed, we were working on a music video for my first international artist from the UK. Her name is Falake Awesome. Well, her name's a little longer than that, but I can't pronounce it. So for y'all, it's Falake Awesome. We were producing and shooting 6 music videos for her visual album on a short time span of only 3 days. Now, one of her songs, Olorunlowo, did I say that right? Olorunlowo, speaks of God being a helper. So my idea for the visual shows Falake in one of her lowest moments. Now when I think about sadness and struggle, I think darkness, I think rain. And so I wanted to show our artist performing in the rain holding a clear umbrella, which represents the transparency and vulnerableness of the artist. Only problem was, how are we going to achieve rain on a low budget? Here swept in my gaffer buddy Eric Kitchens, who came in and turned on the faucet. So everything that we needed for the build of our DIY rain machine, we got at our local Lowe's. So you can pick these things up at Lowe's near you or any other hardware store for the most part. The material we needed for the build were an 8-foot length of 3/4 inch PVC pipe, 4 3/4 inch T-fittings with threaded tops, 4 sprinkler heads, 1 3/4 inch end cap, and 1 3/4 inch female threaded fitting with a 90-degree angle. That's a lot of numbers, but I'm not done. 2-part PVC cement and a roll of Teflon tape, as well as a miter box, and a handsaw came in handy as well. Now, if you're ingenuitive, unlike I am, just hearing those material, you probably already know exactly what we did. But for the people like me who aren't as ingenuitive, it's pretty simple. It's not as hard as it sounds. First, you need to apply primer and glue to the end cap, first installing it to the PVC pipe. Then take your saw and cut every 2 feet to add in the T-fittings the same way you did the end cap. Now on the opposite side, apply the female 90-degree. And here's where you can now connect your hose for water. The next step is wrapping the Teflon tape to the threads of the sprinkler heads before twisting them on. And the reason you want to do this is to seal the threads and prevent any leaking. From there, you connect the water supply, adjust your sprinkler heads, and go from there. That's it? No, if it was that easy, you would see more videos about this than what there are. Several people have created this successfully, but then produced not so great shots with it. And it was due to 1, if not 4 things that are all super simple and easy to correct. The first thing you need to make sure you get right is choosing a source with a strong water pressure system. Each home and business has its own water pressure system, which determines the water pressure at the taps and the spigots. Since you're taking the water through a hose and leading it into 4 individual sprinkler heads, if the water pressure is too low, it can result in a weaker water flow, thus giving you a less realistic look. We originally tried to pull water from a business's spigot that wasn't strong enough, so we ended up checking in with a neighbor and asking if they would allow us to use theirs. Thankfully, they did, giving us a great result. The second thing that can greatly affect the success of the look is going to be doing a wet down. A wet down in this situation is adding water to the pavement or floor, wherever it is that you're shooting the scene. This does 2 things. 1, it sells the effect because if it's really raining, then the ground would be wet everywhere, not just where your talent is standing. And secondly, as a bonus, it adds visual interest in the scene with beautiful reflections on the ground and adds contrast to your scene as well. So making sure not only that you have enough water pressure for your rain machine, but also doing a wet down is going to help sell the effect. But these last 2 things are both detrimental to selling the effect and adding style to the shot. But before I reveal these last 2 things, if you're enjoying this content and you would like to see more, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell, so I can continue making videos like this, and you can stay up to date with my new content, merch, giveaways, and much more. Alright, now that that's out the way, the third thing that is oh so important and will make or break the effect is having a hard backlight. Rain without a strong source backlighting it will not read on cameras. In our scenario, we utilized an aperture 600 and had it far back enough and shot at a low enough aperture that the stand in the back wasn't really visible. In some scenes it was, but most people won't know what it was. In future videos, I definitely want to see how I can fully hide my stand, but for now, it worked. Now, on to the big one. Last, but certainly not least, in my humblest opinion, number one is to add motion to your shot. Now, this may seem like it's not that big of a factor, but a static shot of someone in the rain just doesn't give the same feel as a moving shot in the rain, which is why we opted to have the camera on a Dana dolly, pushing in, pulling back, and going left, right, right, left. Even if you do the shot static, add a small zoom in post and watch it make the effect that much better. Adding a little motion even helps in situations where you don't have a rain machine and say you do rain digitally, which is what we had to do for the shots with the artist sitting in the car, since we weren't allowed to wet the picture car. If you do all of these things, you should pull off a very realistic rain scene for your project. But I have to tell you, you shouldn't stop there. You need to find a way to make your rain scene unique because it's been done many times before. Did you notice that the artist was performing the song sped up?
I like that, I love that, let's do it again, there you go.
Sounded like some chipmunk music, didn't it? Well, if you're interested in what effect that created, you should check out this video here.